gentlemen, welcome to RasslinRantsandReviews, and as always, I'm Big Mike, and this is episode 38, and this is going to be a video response to Tourette's Detectives. And I'd like to say thank you for your questions. You keep sending them in, and you keep sending them in, I'll have answers. Sometimes they'll just be replied to you in the comments, and then sometimes like this, they're going to be done in a video response. And so again, I thank you for sending them in. And you basically gave me 3 quick questions here regarding WrestleMania. It is the season, so anyways, let's get to the questions. They were my favorite match, my favorite Mania, and my favorite Taker match from WrestleMania. WrestleMania, it's so hard for me to choose any of these because WrestleMania, I haven't been to as many as some people, but I've been to 3 WrestleManias in my life. And 2 out of the 3, I think, were great, significant WrestleManias. One being WrestleMania 6. I was only young. I think I was around like 11. How old was I? I was 10, I think. Well, how many years ago was it now? 17, 11 years ago. 21 years ago. So I'm going to be 33. So I would have been. Oh, I don't know. Why can't I do the math? We're going to be 33 at the same time, so I would have been 11. Yeah, I would have been 11. Anyways, doesn't matter. I don't know why it took so long. Brain dead. But, great WrestleMania. Very first WrestleMania. I was excited, as a kid, all my heroes, that I've been watching for years at this point. 6 years I had been watching wrestling. And the main event, Hogan Warrior, phenomenal. But I didn't have the best seats, and on paper I did. My mom spent out her butt, she spent tons of cash for me and my stepfather to be ringside. Well, not ringside, but to be on the floor. We were 30 rows back on the floor, and the Jumbotron, Titantron, and Skydome was behind us. So I couldn't even crank my neck. Well, I had to crank my neck to look at there to see. Because being on the floor, I don't know if you all have been to a live events, or if you've been ever sat on the floor. But at any live event, you should be at least the first 6 rows. If not, don't think that you're going to see a lot. Because you got people standing on shoulders, you got people standing on chairs, you got signs, and you're not elevated. You're at a single level, so you don't see squat. But that was my first WrestleMania. It's always going to be near and dear to my heart, because I was a child, and for the fact that it was my first. A couple highlights for that, other than the matches itself and being able to witness it. I remember we were cutting to go get something to drink, and on a golf cart, going back to his dressing room or whatever, behind the scenes, I seen Roddy Piper, and that was the WrestleMania where he dressed up as half Bad News Brown or half black, and I seen him just go like that, and then I seen Demolition do the same thing later on, and I was just like, oh my god, as a kid, I was a little mark. I'm like, oh my god, there they are right there. They're not in the ring, they're over there. And it was something to me, but. And growing up later on, I always wanted the history of it, learning that DDP was actually the driver of the car for Rhythm and Blues, Honky Tonk Man, Great Valentine, stuff like that. But then my second WrestleMania was WrestleMania 18, again back in Toronto. Rock Hogan, definitely iconic. It was great. Again, I screwed myself in a way. I'd gone with 2 friends, my friend Chris and Daryl. And we had nosebleed seats. And you know what? I got the ticket stubs here. I'll have to find them. But I'll tell the story as I go. We get there. There's WrestleMania X8. One of them. Anyways, we get there. I got 500 level seats. So does my friends. And I'm like, you know what? It's WrestleMania. I've seen a scalper. They came to me, and they're like, hey, you want to buy a ticket? You want to buy a ticket? I'm like, yeah, sure. Where can we get? And they were like, 17th row, on the floor. And I'm like, all right, let's do it up, you know. So that's what I did. Ended up getting floor seats as my friends sat up top. So I was at WrestleMania 18 basically by myself in a way. But it was cool. I partied with guys. There was guys from Scotland that were beside me, in England and whatnot. But here I am, 17 rows on the floor, and I didn't learn because I was all wrapped up in being WrestleMania, sitting on the floor, being that much closer to the action. You know, jamming, who was there? Drowning Pool and Saliva, I think. I can't remember, but, you know, here I am having a time of my life, but then again, I can't see. Being on the floor like that, level, 17 rows back, can't see. But I was able to witness Rock Hogan, Jericho Triple H, you know, Austin Scott Hall. It was good, you know. It was good. It's always going to stay near and dear again as well. And then here's the ticket stubs, actually. It's row 8, floor C, row 8, seat 17. I don't know how well you can see it. You can see it says WrestleMania X8. But row 8, you would think that I was actually 8 rows back, but I wasn't. In front of me, there was another block that had like 10 rows or whatever, so I might have been 18 rows back. And then there's this one that was never used, this ticket stub. A stupid light. But WrestleMania X8. Section 512, row 16, C3. But anyways, I don't know how well you can see that stupid light messes and everything up, but those are the 2 ticket stubs for WrestleMania 18. And then there was WrestleMania 23, and this again was another great WrestleMania just because of the day I had. I know I'm just rambling here, but it's WrestleMania talk, and I'll get to your answers here in a second there, Tourette's, I'm sorry. But WrestleMania 23, I went with a bunch of friends with a group of wrestling organization that I'm involved in. We all went down to Windsor, Ontario, which is right beside Detroit, where WrestleMania 23 was held. And we went to a thing called Meet the Legends. There was Iron Sheik, Tito Santana, Demolition, Rhino, who else? I forget what else. But I also went down there to have a meeting with Scott Demore. You can believe that or not, but that's something else. It was just to do with the wrestling fed that I'm involved in. You know. But anyways, we went to that, and I got to meet these legends, and it was really cool. You know, I think Superfly was there as well. Yeah, Superfly was there as well. That's another story in itself, because later, after so many years, I ended up wrestling with him. Well, I wasn't a wrestler, as some of you may or may not know from my Art of Wrestling Managers episode back at episode 30. I'm a wrestling manager on the Indies. So I got to main event with him last summer, which was really cool. Well, here's my WrestleMania 23 ticket. You can see it was at Ford's Field. You know, just so you know, I'm not bragging or nothing, but some people can be doubters on here or anywhere, so just like to back my shit up. Here's all my tickets, though. You believe it or not, I've been everywhere, man. But anyways, but I didn't even know I was going to WrestleMania 23 till that day. Here I am, I was hanging out at Meet the Legends in Windsor, having a day of, you know, my life, because I got to meet Demolition, and that was amazing. They were my favorites growing up. I couldn't even talk when I met them. You know, I was like a little schoolgirl, but and then I was at a booth, and someone was like, "Hey, you want to buy some WrestleMania tickets?" And I had cash in my pocket, and so I asked everybody that I was with, I'm like, "You want to go? Want to go? Want to go?" And they're all like, "No." And then, anyways, I seen this guy. His name's Ryan. He's a friend of mine. We go to a lot of wrestling things together now, but at the time, I only knew him a couple times because I seen him at different wrestling shows. Didn't really know him, but I knew him just because I seen him around. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to buy these tickets if you drive me to WrestleMania. You know, do you want to go to WrestleMania? You drive. I'll give you a ticket, man. And I think he ended up paying half or something, but it doesn't matter. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, all right. So he does say yes. Long story short, he says yes. And we don't believe it till we get in there. We're like, oh, man, I don't believe it. But these tickets are fake. We get in Ford Field. Amazing. The place is awesome. You know, but we have nosebleed seats. We're way up there, but we had comfy seats. We weren't in a nice tight little spot. We had nice, like, double wide leather seats in front of a press box, and there was a bar behind us and shit. So, you know, it was nice and comfortable, even though, But I only got a couple minutes left here. And 11 minutes later, I'm getting to the answers. So, Tourette's wants to know my favorite match, my favorite Mania, my favorite Taker match. My favorite match is Steamboat and Savage from WrestleMania 3. And I'm going to also say Jericho HBK from WrestleMania 19. Very much, I don't know. They're both my favorite. I don't know. I can't pick one. Jericho and HBK was simply amazing. 16 years later, but Steamboat Savage was awesome for the time. And if you compare the two, for the time difference, like the years difference and the way wrestling evolved, they're close to being the same type of match, and I think that's why I like them. They're great. The type of wrestlers involved, etc. My favorite Mania is Mania 4. I really liked the tournament. It was really cool. I don't know. I really liked it. Opposed to some of the ones that I've been to and seen some really awesome things happen. I really liked WrestleMania 4 and 19. 19's the last WrestleMania I thought that was any good. WrestleMania 19 was simply great too. The last WrestleMania, as I like to call it. Because it was a stacked card, some really great wrestling. Brock, Kurt, Jericho, HBK, Austin, Rock, 2. Was it 2 or 3? I don't know, 2. I think you had Triple H, Booker, Hogan, McMahon. It was definitely one of the best ones. And Safeco Fuel was a great venue for it. And my favorite Taker match, I'm going to have to go with like one of the newer ones. Taker HBK 1 at WrestleMania 25. For as old and beat down as they both were, they put on a match like none other. You know, he also had a good one against the Masked Kane, and Triple H at 17 was pretty good. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go WrestleMania 25, Taker HBK. So I know it took me a long time to get to your answers. That's why I call it Wrestling Rants and Reviews, because I do rant / ramble quite a bit. But Tourette's Detectives, I hope that was a good response for you, and for all of you that all are watching as well. Let me know your favorite. Let me know your favorite matches in WrestleMania, your favorite Mania, and your favorite Taker match. Give me a video response, leave a comment below. Subscribe, dislike, like, comment, do whatever you need to do. And again, if this is your first time watching, just subscribe. But anyways, I'm Big Mike, and this is Wrestling Rants and Reviews.